What if the person everyone looked down on was the only one who could save a billionaire's life? In a mansion filled with doctors, machines, and modern luxury, a dying tycoon lay helpless, while the answer stood quietly in the corner, holding a mop and secrets from the village. They mocked her. They doubted her. Some even prayed for the man's death. But when all hope was lost, a maid with forbidden knowledge made a choice that shocked an entire household. This is not just a story of herbs. It's a story of destiny, betrayal, and how wisdom doesn't always wear a suit. If you love emotional African stories filled with drama, comedy, and life-changing moments, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another powerful story like this. Sit back. The miracle is just beginning. The Okori mansion sat like a silent king in the heart of Lekki. Tall gates, electric fence humming softly, security cameras blinking like watchful eyes. Inside, everything screamed money. Cream marble floors so shiny you could check your face in them. A wide staircase with glass rails. Abstract African artworks framed in gold. The living room alone could host a wedding reception. And yet, inside all that beauty, sickness lived. Chief Sir Chukwudi Okori, the owner of the house and one of Nigeria's most respected billionaires, had not stepped into that living room for weeks. He lay upstairs in the master bedroom, a room bigger than some people's apartments, surrounded by machines that beeped like impatient birds. Downstairs, a small bus stopped. Nkechi stepped down carefully, clutching her worn bag. She looked around in awe. "Jesus is Lord," she whispered. "Is this a house or airport?" Before Lekki, she was someone else. In Umuaku village, people called her Ada Agwu. When children convulsed, they ran to her. When old men couldn't breathe well at night, she knew which leaves to boil. But the city didn't care about names or knowledge. The city cared about certificates and connections. So now she was just the new maid. Madame Ifunanya inspected her from head to toe the moment she entered the house. "Agency, is this the best you can bring?" she asked, pinching her nose. "Yes, ma," the agent replied nervously. "If she breaks one plate, it's coming out of her salario." Kechi bowed her head. "Yes, ma." From that moment, hatred found her address. The cook refused to teach her anything properly. The housekeeper blamed her for missing spoons. Even the security men laughed when she struggled with the vacuum cleaner. "Village girl, press the red button. Not your destiny," one guard joked. Only one person noticed her silence, Chinedu. He saw how she always paused whenever she passed the master bedroom. How her eyes narrowed. How her ears tilted toward the sound coming from inside. That night, while mopping the corridor, Nkechi heard it clearly. "KHRR. KHRR." She froze. Her heart sank. "That breathing," she whispered. "No, this is bad." She remembered an old man in her village who breathed like that after taking the wrong concoction from a quack. She remembered how the herbs meant to heal him slowly blocked his chest. Nkechi pressed her ear closer to the door. Another breath. Strained. Forced. She stepped back quickly, fear gripping her. "This sickness is not hospital sickness," she said under her breath. "They are giving him what is killing him." Her palms became sweaty. But how would she speak? In this house, even her greeting annoyed people. Downstairs, she overheard Ifunanya and Kiru laughing. "If Daddy dies, the Lekki house is mine," Ifunanya said. "And the Abuja property is mine," and Kiru replied. They clinked glasses. Nkechi's stomach twisted. Upstairs, the billionaire struggled for air. Downstairs, his daughters counted properties. And in between them all stood a maid with the cure locked in her head. Afraid, unwanted, and completely invisible. For now. By the second week, the Okori mansion no longer felt like a home. It felt like a hospital pretending to be rich. Every morning, a different doctor arrived in a polished SUV. White coats, leather briefcases, serious faces. They spoke big grammar in the living room with Italian sofas and a glass center table that cost more than Kechi's entire village. Respiratory complication. Rare reaction. Well, add just the treatment. Add just. Yet upstairs, Chief Okori's breathing grew worse. Kechi noticed everything. She noticed how his chest rose too fast, like someone running without legs. She noticed the slight whistle in his throat. She noticed how his fingers curled when he tried to inhale. This one is struggling like a drum with torn skin, she murmured one afternoon while dusting the gold-framed mirror in the hallway. The nurse nearly jumped. Ah, you want to kill me? Don't talk like that near sick person. Kechi quickly bowed. Sorry, ma. But inside her head, knowledge screamed. They are treating smoke while fire is still burning. Each time new medicine entered the room, the smell changed. Kechi's nose twitched. This drug is hot, she whispered one night. It's tightening his chest. She wanted to speak. She opened her mouth once, twice, then closed it. That same evening, Ifeanyi stormed into the kitchen in silk pajamas. Why is my tea cold? She shouted. Sorry, ma, ill. Sorry won't revive my father, oh. Ifeanyi snapped, then paused and smirked. Or maybe it will. Kechi kept her eyes on the floor. Hiru joined her sister, chewing gum. Some people are pretending to care too much, she said loudly. Be careful, some maids are used by enemies. They looked straight at Nkechi. Her heart thumped. So this is how it starts, she thought. If I talk now, they'll say I'm sent. That night, the breathing changed again. KHRR. HRR. KHRR. It was uneven now. Nkechi stood by the staircase, gripping her mop like a walking stick. In my village, she whispered. When breathing reaches this stage, dawn is dangerous. Tears filled her eyes. She remembered her mother's voice. Knowledge is useless if fear ties your mouth. Still, fear tied it tightly. Only Chinedu noticed her distress. He found her sitting at the back veranda, staring at the sky. Nkechi, he said gently, are you okay? She startled. Yes, sir. I'm fine. He studied her face, the worry, the sleepless eyes. You look like someone carrying a heavy load. Her lips trembled. I just don't like how he is breathing, sir. Chinedu frowned. What do you mean? She shook her head quickly. It's nothing. I'm just a maid. He didn't push. But as he walked away, something stayed with him. That night, the doctors increased the dosage again. Upstairs, the billionaire gasped. Downstairs, Nkechi knelt on her bed, hands shaking. God, she whispered. If I keep quiet and he dies, I'll never forgive myself. If I talk and they kill me, at least I tried. By morning, her decision was forming. Slowly, painfully. The herbs were calling, and time was running out. The Okari mansion was unusually quiet, the kind of silence that pressed against the ears. Even the air conditioners hummed softly, as if afraid to disturb whatever was happening upstairs. Nkechi woke up with a heavy chest. She had barely slept. Each time she closed her eyes, she heard that breathing HRR. Like someone dragging air through a narrow path. This is the last warning, she whispered to herself while tying her wrapper under her uniform. If I keep quiet today, tomorrow might be too late. She stepped out to sweep the living room. The modern interior looked cold that morning. The gray sofas sat neatly arranged. The glass center table reflected her worried face. On the wall hung a large painting of a lion crowned in gold, Chief Okari's favorite. Even lions need help when poisoned, she thought. Suddenly, shouting erupted from upstairs. His oxygen level is dropping. Call the doctor again. This is not responding. Kechi dropped her broom. Her legs moved before her fear could stop them. She climbed the staircase slowly, each step heavier than the last. Outside the master bedroom, people stood like mourners before a corpse. Nurses rushed in and out. The two daughters cried loudly, competing for volume. If anything happens to Daddy, I will die. Ifeanyi wailed dramatically. Kechi watched closely. These tears are not salty, she thought bitterly. Then she saw Chinedu standing apart, jaw tight, eyes red. Not from acting, but from helplessness. That was her moment. Her heart hammered as she approached him. Sir, she said softly. He turned. Nkechi? She swallowed hard. Please, I need to talk to you. Alone. Ifeanyi spun around. What is this one doing here again? Don't you have plates to wash? Kiru folded her arms. Or maybe she wants to say her last goodbyes. Kechi ignored them. Chinedu hesitated, then nodded. Give us a minute. What? The sisters chorused. I said give us a minute, he repeated, firm. They hissed and walked away reluctantly. In a quiet corner near the staircase, Nkechi knelt suddenly. Please don't be angry, sir, she said quickly. I know I'm nobody here, but I can save your father. Chinedu froze. What did you say? I was a herbal healer in my village, she continued, words spilling out now. The way he is breathing, this sickness is from wrong treatment. His chest is blocked, not weak. More drugs will kill him. For a moment, Chinedu said nothing. Then laughter exploded behind them. Jesus Christ! Ifunanya burst out. So now maids are doctors? Kiru clapped sarcastically. Next shall say she went to Harvard. Kechi bowed lower. I'm not a doctor, but I've seen this sickness before. Ifunanya's face hardened. You think we are fools? Maybe they sent you to finish him. Kechi's body shook. I swear on my life nobody sent me. I just want to help. Chinedu raised his hand. Silence fell. He looked at his sisters, then at the door of his father's room where the machine beeped faster. We have tried everything modern, he said quietly, and nothing is working. He turned to Nkechi. If I let you try, can you live with yourself if something goes wrong? Tears rolled down her cheeks. Yes, sir, she whispered, because doing nothing is also killing him. The words hit him. A long pause. Then Chinedu nodded. Prepare what you need. Ifunanya screamed. You are mad. Kiru grabbed his arm. You'll regret this. He pulled away. If Daddy dies, it won't be because of her. It will be because we were afraid to listen. Kechi exhaled shakily. For the first time since she entered that mansion, someone had listened. She stood up slowly. The herbs she left behind in the village had followed her. Quietly, patiently. And now, the house that mocked her was about to witness something it would never forget. The moment Chinedu said, prepare what you need, the Okiri mansion entered emergency confusion. If anything happens to Daddy, I'll sue everybody in this house. Ifunanya shouted, pacing on the marble floor in her designer slippers. Kiru scoffed loudly. So this is how inheritance will end? With leaves and roots? Chinik. Meanwhile, Nkechi stood there, stunned, as if someone had suddenly handed her a microphone in a stadium. Sir. Thank you, she said softly. Don't thank me yet, Chinedu replied. Just do what you know how to do. The nurse whispered to another nurse. God help us. Herbs in a house with central AC. The kitchen that had never seen leaves. Nkechi entered the ultramodern kitchen and nearly laughed. Everything was stainless steel. Built-in oven. Touchscreen cooker. Extractor that looked like a spaceship. Not a single firewood in sight. Okay. Adaptation, she muttered. She pulled out the small nylon bag she had carried since she came from the village. Something the other maids had mocked her for. See rubbish she carries everywhere, they used to say. Inside were dried leaves, roots wrapped in cloth, and bark pieces that smelled like rain and earth. The cook walked in and screamed, Hey, what is this forest you brought into my kitchen? Nkechi replied calmly, A forest that doesn't charge consultation fee. The cook hissed and left. She boiled the herbs carefully, adjusting to the electric cooker like someone learning a new language. Oga cooker, she said, tapping it. Behave yourself today, oh. The water turned dark brown. Bitter smell filled the air. From the living room, Ifunanya shouted, Is someone cooking soup or burying something? Upstairs, panic and drama. Upstairs, Chief Okiri's breathing worsened again. The machine beeped angrily. The nurse looked at Chinedu. Sir, we are running out of time. Chinedu swallowed hard. She's coming. Ifunanya burst in. Chinedu, stop this madness now. If Daddy dies, I will never forgive you. Chinedu replied dryly, You've already forgiven yourself. Skull. The moment of truth. Nkechi entered the master bedroom carrying a covered bowl. The room was luxurious. King-sized bed, padded headboard, golden bedside lamps, framed black and white photos of the chief shaking hands with presidents. She paused, overwhelmed. "So this is where rich people sleep," she whispered. Meanwhile, sickness doesn't respect address. She approached the bed. Chief Okiri lay there, skin pale, eyes closed, breathing shallow. Nkechi placed 2 fingers gently on his chest. She murmured. "Just like I thought." Ifunanya snapped. "Don't touch him like that. Are you a nurse?" Nkechi didn't look up. "No ma, I'm worse. I'm village." Chinedu almost laughed despite the tension. Nkechi mixed the herbal liquid, dipped a cloth into it, and gently rubbed the chief's chest. She opened the windows slightly. The nurse gasped. "But sir said no fresh air." Nkechi replied, "This sickness hates trapped air. Let him breathe like a human, not generator." She whispered prayers under her breath, words older than English. Then she gently fanned him with a towel soaked in the mixture. Minutes passed. Everyone held their breath. Then, Chief Okiri coughed. Once, twice, a deep cough that sounded like something clearing. His chest rose and fell, slowly, smoothly. The beeping machine softened. The nurse stared. "Oh my God." Ifunanya stepped back. No, no, no." Chief Okiri inhaled deeply and opened his eyes slightly. "What is this smell?" he croaked. "Smells like my village. And my grandmother's kitchen." Nkechi burst into tears. "He's stabilizing," the nurse shouted. Chinedu covered his mouth, eyes wet. Ifunanya fainted dramatically onto the leather chair. Kiru screamed, "Water! Somebody bring water! Not herb water, oh!" The impossible was happening. In a mansion of glass, gold, and gadgets, a maid with village herbs had just dragged a billionaire back from the edge of death. And the house would never be the same again. The next morning, the Okiri mansion buzzed like a marketplace on payday. But this time, the chatter had a different flavor. Word had spread upstairs that the chief had survived. And the source of the miracle was the maid. Ifunanya sat in the living room, hair disheveled, silk robe half on, glaring at Nkechi like she had personally invented all the herbs in the world just to spite her. "You expect me to sit here and pretend like I don't want to throw you out?" she hissed while sipping her morning smoothie. Nkiru added, "Next thing you know, you'll be running the company with leaves and roots." Chinedu, what is this madness? Chinedu, sipping his coffee with calm patience, leaned back on the gray sectional sofa that could comfortably seat 10 people. "No nonsense today," he said. "Let's just appreciate the fact that Daddy is alive." Ifunanya rolled her eyes so hard they almost got stuck. "Alive, yes, but thanks to a maid? In this house." Nkechi, wearing her humble wrapper under her uniform, only smiled softly. She had learned long ago that arguments in rich houses were just background noise. You survived by staying focused. The billionaire awakens. Upstairs, Chief Okiri had fully opened his eyes for the first time in days. His chest, once tight and restricted, now rose and fell with ease. He stretched on the king-sized bed, his robes folded neatly at his side. Smells like home," he mumbled. "Nkechi, did you do this?" Nkechi bowed slightly. "Yes, sir. With your permission, I used herbs and prayers from my village. Your breathing, your chest. It needed help outside the hospital treatments." The chief blinked. Then he laughed. A deep, full-bodied laugh that hadn't echoed through that mansion in weeks. "Oh, the lion laughs again," he said, looking around the massive room. "So, this is the girl who saved me from my own doctors?" Ifunanya gasped. "Daddy, you..." "Sure," Chief Okiri said, wagging a finger. "Let her speak first." Nkechi's eyes widened. She had never imagined being praised in a mansion like this. I only did what I know," she said softly. "I only acted because I saw you in danger." The chief leaned back, smiling. "I like that. Courage, wisdom, humility. You, my child, are no ordinary maid. You saved my life." The household reacts. Downstairs, Chinedu had already informed the house staff. She did it. She saved him. Accept it or keep quiet. The cook whispered, "I knew she was carrying something special in that bag." The security guard mumbled. From village girl to hero. Lagos is weird. Ifunanya and Kiru, however, were still in shock. How? How could this happen? Kiru asked, pacing back and forth. Leave her, Chinedu said calmly. She didn't come here to fight. She came to heal. And she did. The sisters groaned. Tomorrow, I'm going to fire her. Ifunanya whispered venomously. Chinedu laughed. Try me. The power of a maid. Nkechi stayed quiet for a moment, glancing at Chinedu. Sir, what about the hospital treatments? The doctors? Chinedu smiled. Well, tell them your methods worked. If they want to argue, they can do it in public. Right now, you rest. You've earned it. For the first time since entering that mansion, Nkechi felt seen. Not as a maid, not as a village girl, but as someone who mattered. And the chief? He sat up proudly, golden light of morning spilling through the floor-to-ceiling windows. From today, he said, voice firm, Nkechi is not just a maid. She is my healer, my guardian, my daughter of destiny in this house. Ifunanya and Kiru glared. You cannot possibly. Kiru started. Try me, the chief said with a smile. And at that moment, the entire mansion seemed to shift. The luxurious air, the gold trims, the Italian sofas. All of it bowed in silent acknowledgement to a young girl from a small village whose knowledge of herbs and courage had changed the course of a billionaire's life. Nkechi smiled quietly, thinking, sometimes, all it takes is faith, wisdom, and a little courage to turn a mansion upside down. And Lagos? Lagos would never forget the day a maid made a billionaire laugh again. The house is buzzing. The billionaire is alive. The maid is a hero. But not everyone is happy. Two daughters, angry and scheming, are plotting behind closed doors. Can Nkechi survive their tricks? Will her village wisdom be enough to protect her in a mansion full of money, jealousy, and secrets? And the biggest question, what other surprises does the billionaire's life and this house of glass have in store for her? You don't want to miss the next chapter of this unbelievable story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you can be the first to see what happens when courage meets destiny in Lagos. The drama is just getting started.